Oh, that's amazing. Good stuff. And now it's time to completely switch gears and do D&D.
So completely switched of gears.
Yes, all the gears are being switched.
I'm still gonna be shooting people.
Oh, hecking no! Since when are there guns in this game?
You don't know the position that you're in, but you probably don't want to be shooting people.
What do you mean? My character has switched positions?
No.
Yes.
Your
You are
alignment
now
is still
upside
the
down.
same. It's just the situation that you are in has changed.
Do I know what
the last
situation
place
I'm
you
in?
thought
we'll give
you
you a
were
recap.
You're in jail.
asleep. However, you are no longer asleep.
I think I'm asleep still. I think I should be asleep. I think I am still
Okay,
asleep.
you can be asleep
technically
still, that's
can
fine.
be asleep where you are.
We'll give you
What
a
do you
recap.
mean? What? Where am I?
You missed
Have
a really
I been
great
relocated?
session. You got a really...
Have
I
I
had
been
already told her, but
relocated?
she didn't want to
Okay.
hear. She didn't want to hear it
Oh,
because
okay.
she didn't want to be sad about missing it. But now that she's here, I think we can retell what happened.
Yeah, sure.
Because
In
she's
fact,
missing
it might be funnier if you guys give a recap to her instead of me, because you guys can retell what each of you guys are doing, or I could do my.
Well, wait. Where is Light?
She'll be here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She
So
said
it was. We did have the perfect session for what we needed. Like storyline wise, it was a really good session for what we needed. But yeah. I don't know if
What do you
like
mean?
you.
It was
do-
very good.
Do you
for what
want me to
needed.
go ahead
What did you
and
need?
tell?
No, I
No,
don't understand what you
let's wait
needed.
for
What do you
Light to
mean
get
by
back.
that?
Like the characters, what the characters needed.
What did they
DJ
need?
wants to wait for Light
Like
before
for
we recap.
to further the role play, to further their connection, to
Character development. It was
Character
a
development.
good part of the arc.
Oh, I thought you meant they needed like ice cream or something, or they needed a.
No, it's not like we got like boss swords. No.
Are you sure?
You're yelling. No, not you. It's him. His name's Pumpkin, and he doesn't know how to shut up.
Wow.
You were asking me things, and
This
then I
poor
was
man,
answering
he
them.
just got
And then you
destroyed.
said no, and then you said no. That is not
Murdered
what I
by
wanted the
words.
answer to be. So then I answered it in a different way, but you were talking over me, so I talk louder. And then you say no, that's not the answer that I wanted.
And then
so
you
I
talk
answer in a
louder
different
for
way,
some
because you're always
godforsaken
talking
reason.
over me.
Oh my gosh, we fight like siblings.
I mean, you fight.
Hey, guys.
So EJ,
Dice.
EJ.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
If you didn't know, D&D Beyond will let you roll dice, but then also everybody in the campaign can see it. If
Really?
you roll, everyone can see it.
I have a problem
I
with the
didn't know that.
D&D Beyond. I've rolled several times
It's a
just
pretty
to see
bad
what
random.
happened.
It's a pretty
Yeah.
bad random.
Yes, it's really bad.
It seems to love its extremes.
So all natural 20s and 1s.
Yes.
That's funny.
It's back and forth between them.
Oh my word, I love her. Oh my word. Oh my word.
It's
Oh.
a cat.
Okay. Ah! Ah! You took right into the shoulder.
Oh gosh. First he was murdered by words, now he's murdered by claws.
I have the little characters, Triangle Boys.
Triangle Boys.
What's happening? Yeah, Triangle Boys, and then
What are their names?
4,
Triangle 1
5,
and Triangle
6, and
2.
7.
okay, here's my little Diamondy boys.
Hey.
They have diamonds.
Sorry, I'm late.
No, that's
I
fine.
took a nap.
You're 5 minutes late. That
You're
is
not late.
very
Y'all are about
respectable.
to walk into my room and wake me up, apparently.
I took a nap after work, and that was not the game plan. I'm exhausted.
Oh no.
Aw.
Naps are never the plan. Unless you have 45 minutes to do it, it's never the plan.
I was like, it's 2? My alarm's for 2:45. I'll be fine. And then I slept
Yeah.
until my phone went off with the call popping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you woke up.
Yeah.
They changed color. In the light, they are blue, but in the dark, they're purple.
Huh.
Ooh.
And
is
that's
pretty
because
tall.
they have shiny blue particles in them,
I'm a shiny blue
but you can only
particle.
see them in the light.
Okay,
Really
like
shiny.
She's
Did Light just say what?
she said, she's a shiny blue particle.
I mean, what does that even mean?
It means I'm a
I don't
shiny
know,
blue
but it's a
particle.
compliment. It's a
Fair
compliment.
enough.
There are my dice.
Awesome.
What dice should I use today?
I'll be right back.
The
Use your
shiny blue particle.
use your favorite ones.
Well, that's my original. Those are the shiny blue particle ones.
Are you?
I
are you
have glow in
brushing
the
your
dark
beard?
ones that I really like.
You do? That's cool.
They look like ice for the most part, and then after they sit in the sun or like any light source for a while, then they glow in the dark. It's
EJ says this one looks like cheesecake, and I can't unsee it.
I said it looked like a strawberry dessert or something.
Yeah.
It does look tasty though.
very-
Iron grill.
Just-
I've decided working is dumb, and I don't like it.
Just now?
Yeah, just
thank
now,
you.
just in this very moment.
How many years into life have you gone without knowing?
Uh,
I have been given a big.
I've
pretzel
always
and
known
I'm
it. I've
excited.
just officially declared it.
Oh, you've declared it. The declaration of work is boring. Oh
Mhm.
my word, he enjoy his pretzel. It's very hot though. You have the same plates as we do, Ethan.
Do we really?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Also, those pretzels, we get those too. Those are microwavable. Yeah. Yeah.
They are so
I wish
good.
my parents would make them for me.
It's
They
been
would
so
never.
long since I've had one. It's like years since we last had these.
My best friend's getting married, and guess where they're moving?
Pretzel.
North
Where?
Pretzel
Carolina.
land.
North Carolina.
You were close. You were close.
Ray and
What
I
did
both
you
said
say?
pretzel.
I said pretzel land.
No, they're moving to North Carolina, which means I can
There
visit
should be a
internet
pretzel
friends.
land in North Carolina.
But they're gonna be on an army base, and I
Mm.
don't know what the rules are with me staying there with them.
You can stay for a little while.
I mean, I know that, but I don't know what their rules are. So
The rules are rules.
Army bases are pretty nice to stay at.
okay.
Unless you're in the army, then it's less nice.
Why?
They could let you stay for free if you agree to be a test dummy, or like a target practice.
Really? If I view target practice,
Really?
I'm just considering all my options,
Yeah.
Ethan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh man.
Alright, so, in our last episode, Ananias was arrested for crimes he did not commit and has been thrown into prison without proper legal defense. Appalled by this injustice, Carmen has taken it upon herself to investigate the scene of the crime and determine the true kidnapper. Meanwhile, our dynamic feathered duo of Q, Zeeth, and Mama Swizzle have followed one of the cloaked cult members into the sewers below the city in search of the truth. Will our intrepid heroes be able to prove Ananias is innocent before sunset so he can make it to his meeting, or will Ananias be left to rot in prison forever? Only time will tell.
I like that introduction.
That was
Yeah,
so good.
that
You
was-
are
good
so
job.
good.
I was
Honestly,
having
nailed it.
flashbacks to GI Joe. I was like, oh, wow.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, no, you know, like when they would do the flashbacks with it, and like in our last episode, was like
I've
based
For
on
never
me, it
seen
was the
G.I.
Legend of
Joe.
Korra.
it
Yeah,
was basically
same,
the exact same
same.
wins.
That's what it was inspired by, yeah.
The Legend of Korra.
Yeah, that's the voice. That's where I got the voice
Yeah,
from.
that's.
I like it.
It's very good. Very
Good
good.
job.
So, would you guys like to
Right.
keep Ananias up, or like get her up to date a little more?
Yeah, so basically, I woke up early after meditation, went downstairs, saw that you were being arrested. Everybody else came downstairs, and we were all like, "Oh, hey!" So we had a big argument with the person trying to arrest you
Why were they
Uh,
arresting me? Because I.
Because you were cloaked.
because you were wearing a cloak. They arrested you because there were a bunch of
They were
crimes being
cloakists.
committed, being committed
cloakists.
by people wearing the cloak that you had. So we were like, "This is a dumb." arresting somebody for wearing a cloak, and they're like,
No.
listen, we've had it. Like, we're just taking this person, and if you can prove them innocent, you can prove them innocent. We just need somebody to fall for the crime.
Okay,
the
so
shit out
what
of
did
the
they do?
captain of
They
the-
saw me hang my cloak up outside, and they go, "Okay, so
From
This
where
is
did
it.
you
They were
tell?
like
Yeah,
waiting
pretty
in the
much.
spot. They
Yeah,
were
pretty
waiting
much.
in the spot where you put down your cloak. They had a stakeout.
So they pinned it all on you, and Carmen
that's
was
hilarious.
super upset by it.
Yeah,
because you were
Both
getting
QZ
arrested.
and Carmen had like an argument with the guy. I tried to trick him a couple times into looking away so that we could run away. I just had an aside with you, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I think that we can get you out of here legally, but are you like okay being in jail for a little bit?" EJ spoke in your character saying, "No, get me out right now. I have things to
That's
do."
what I would say.
And then I
Thank
said,
you,
"Okay."
EJ.
And then I said, "Okay, great. Yeah, just wait in jail for a little bit. We'll get you out." Just like completely ignoring what you said.
And when the Captain Guardsman left the area after arguing with Carmen, I pantsed him.
That's true.
I forgot about that entirely.
Ray demeaned them and got their social points down quite a lot.
We also found
so
out that
yeah,
Mama Swizzle cannot write notes. It just comes up as Mama Swizzle again.
We did learn that.
So yeah, you were arrested. Mama Swizzle instantly followed the guard who was arresting you. Carmen went in search of the
To
crime
actually
scene
solve the crime.
to solve the crime, and then I was like, okay, so there's other people who clearly committed the crime. So I was looking for people who were wearing cloaks.
And you found
We
one.
all in character tried to solve the problem in 3 different ways.
It was amazing.
Carmen looked around for seeing the crime a little bit, found it. There was like a magical barrier around it. Eventually got in. Broken. Yeah.
I went in through the window.
I looked around for people with cloaks. Obviously, as I said, ended up finding one person walking with a cloak over into the sewers. Got to there, and I was like, I need to get my own cloak. So this is when the master plan started. I went over to the wool arm salesman.
No.
The man who created their arms into wool, and I ordered a
No, just
cloak.
one arm. He's only got one arm that
Oh yeah,
keeps
just
growing
one arm,
infinite
just
wool.
one, just keeps on going wool. So I ordered him to make me a cloak, and I used the diamond that you gave me to pay for it. So I got this white cloak, or I was getting this white cloak, and in the meantime, I went over to the jail cell where I met up with Mama Swizzle. Mama Swizzle was having conversations with the guards. It was not going too well. Mama Swizzle was trying to get to you, but in Mama Swizzle fashion. So I meet up with Mama Swizzle and then try and sort out the situation to the best of my ability, being able to understand Mama Swizzle only the exact opposite way as what she says. So you can imagine how well it went. We eventually got over to you, had a little confrontation where we talked about things. You're like, listen, we got a plan to get you out. I talked about how I saw other cloaked people go into the sewer. You told me no, not to go in there. But Mama Swizzle was like, yes, we should. So after we were done talking with you, Mama Swizzle convinced me to go back into the sewer. So I got my cloak, soaked it in mud to make it black.
Why didn't you order a black one?
Because they only had the white wool. It was a white wool arm. Okay. So I soaked it in mud to permanently make it black. Flashback to Carmen. Carmen made it in. They met up with a butler inside of the manor where the crime was committed. And what information did you find out?
Okay, I found out that I got a vague timeline of events from someone who thought he was way more important than he actually was. And then I went down to the kitchen. I figured out that the glasses of the Lord and Lady were poisoned, and it wasn't the alcohol itself, it was the glasses. The butler's the one who set them out, but he did leave the dining room at some point, so there's a high chance that someone else could have broken in there and poisoned them when he was out on his errand.
And that is the recap. Me and Mama
Yep, that's
Swizzle
pretty
are
much it.
waiting. Oh, actually, no. Wait. Me and Mama Sizzle made it into the sewer because I
Yes.
knocked out the guard in front of
Yes,
it.
you entered the sewer.
Why is there a sewer guard? What the heck?
I don't know. It was
Well-
like one of the actual guards for the town.
Yeah, the guard did say, the sun rises on a new day, and then they didn't know how to respond. Ray was like, "Can I remember the phrase that you're supposed to say?" And they were like, "It doesn't
then I
matter. He's only can
freaked
say Mama Swizzle."
freaked out. Oh, what would it help?
She goes, Mama Swizzle?
I replied, and also with you. And then the guy was like, what?
Am I a part of a different cult that I didn't realize? Hold on. So yeah, that's basically the rundown of events. There's a murder mystery going on with Carmen.
Oh my word, that's hilarious!
And the other two are
I'm
going
trying
on a
to save
crime
you.
noir investigation. And
Yeah,
alright,
the
Ananias, you're
captain
left
of the
in prison
guard
for
is
now.
terrified of me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you intimidated the heck out of him.
Yeah.
We left off with you talking to the butler mid-conversation, Carmen. We could start with you, but I am kind of curious what's happening with Ananias as they've been in prison basically
You can-
all
That's
day.
fair.
It's
You can go to Ananias if you want.
yeah, sure. It is.
Ananias found a spoon. Is currently digging a tunnel.
Oh, one other thing that I did forget to mention last session, Carmen, since you cast Detect Magic and that has a 10-minute duration, as you were
Mhm.
beginning to be led through the mansion by the maid on this tour, you noticed several things were glowing with magic, like different trinkets along the walls and items within the mansion were glowing with magical enchantments, because they're like, it's a high magical
Yeah.
kind of house with people who are practiced in enchanting things, so they had a lot of magical items throughout
Okay.
their house. There's also the guy you talked to, the professor, he had a glowing, like his pocket watch was glowing because it was still active at that time, and you saw something under his clothes that was glowing. You don't know what, but just a faint blue glow coming from under his clothes. The maid also had
His
a faint...
underwear.
It was more like a vest kind of thing, but sure. There was also a faint red glow
Lingerie?
coming from the maid's outfit. So, not the outfit itself, but again underneath her clothes. So
Yeah, okay.
And then at
That
that
makes
point,
sense.
the spell kind of wore off as you were being introduced to the butler.
'Kay.
All right. So, Ananias, you have been in prison for about 5 hours at this point. It's maybe like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., something like that. Your meeting is at dusk, supposedly, in the sewers. And your friends have assured you that they're going to try to get you out legally by proving your innocence. But you're just kind of in jail right now. What would you like to do? All your gear has been taken from you, and your note that you had telling you when and where to meet, you ate that so that no one would find it.
I would eat that, wouldn't I?
He knows you so well, doesn't he?
Can I have my saying again, just so I don't forget it a third time?
Yeah, sure.
Because I was trying to find it.
It was the sun rises on a new day, and the response is, and it ends again in death.
You can put this into the notes on your character sheet in D&D Beyond.
I'm not gonna find that quick enough. The sun.
It'll be more permanent, though.
My water is empty.
No,
I
I'm
had
I'm
pretzel
literally
of salt.
stapling this to the wall.
Jeez.
Poor wall.
Sounds like something my grandfather would do.
Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna need
entire
the water
house
at
is a
some point.
cork board.
All right. Slam my head against the wall in annoyance.
Okay. You do this.
How much progress
It causes pain.
have they been making, like, in making a dent in the wall after slamming their head into it
It's
so many
like-
times?
Like an El Dorado. How's the escape plan coming? So Ananias, there
Okay,
aren't...
is anybody in the cell with me? And what is in the cell?
Yeah, there are no other people in the cell with you. There was one other prisoner that's a couple cells down. He hasn't really said anything to you. In the cell, there's only like a chain connecting to a wooden cot that's kind of like suspended off the floor, and that's it. There's a chamber pot below it, made of ceramic.
Wait, the chain is not connecting to me, it's connecting to the cot?
Yeah, there's like 2 chains that kind of at an angle connect from the wall to the wooden cot to keep it off the floor.
That way you can't throw the cot at the bars.
It's actually suspending the cot, like the weight is being supported by it,
Oh.
like at a triangle angle.
But am I also chained somewhere?
No, you are not chained. You're just in a cell. It's made of iron bars, stone walls. It's the classic prison cell kind of thing. There are a couple guards walking around here and there, but there's no one like specifically standing outside your cage guarding you. Yeah, there's also one wall
Okay.
that has a like 4 iron bars and a small window facing the outside world.
Can I just like lift the chamber pot and hit it against like the top of the chain where it hits into the wall, you know?
Yeah, it's a pretty flimsy chamber pot. It seems like
It's
that kinda-
flimsy? What?
I said it was made
Chamber
of.
pots are
Turns out
made
it's
of
made of-
metal.
No, I said it was made of ceramic.
it's-
This one, so
Oh, it's
it
ceramic
would
one.
probably shatter.
Porcelain, I think you said.
You can still do that if you'd like, though.
I mean, I don't really want to shatter it.
What if you need to
Then
go
you'd have a
later?
weapon. You'd have a shiv.
I guess. Let's shatter the chamber pot.
Clink, clink, clink. Oh, what'd you do? The guard kind of complains from the distance. Someone walks over, shakes his head at you, and keeps going.
Is there a window?
Yes. You can stand on the cot to be able to look out the window easily.
I want to look out the window.
Alright. As you do, you see an alley behind the guard post. There's a bunch of like boxes containing who knows what kind of product. But what catches your eye is a hooded figure, one of your cult members that is sneaking down this alley, coming right for your window. He has not noticed you yet, but he's slowly making his way to the window, trying to avoid being seen. Very
Throw the shattered
conspicuous
chamber pot at them.
because you're looking right at him, but he's hiding himself
Okay.
from people on the street.
Well, is there anybody else on the street?
There's people on the street outside, but this is an alleyway, and he's kind of hidden himself within it. So he is not seen, it seems. Do you do anything?
Alright.
Say anything?
Yeah, I will. I mean, I'm just gonna put my hand on a bar so they would be able to see it if they're looking towards it.
The figure is walking up to your window, seeming to know that you're inside, and he looks up and is startled for a moment. Then he goes, "Ah, brother, I was told that one of our own had been captured. The sun rises on a new day.
And it ends again in death.
Very good. And today will be the last day. It's an exciting offering we have planned. You could not be late. Well, are you ready to get out of here?"
Yeah.
Okay. So he reaches into his cloak with like a small smile. You can hear in his voice, and he like places some kind of something you can't see because of the angle of the wall, but he places something on the wall and says, "Step back from the wall. This might get a
Okay.
little loud." And then he steps back. And a moment later, are you stepping away from the wall?
Yes.
The wall freaking
I'm not.
explodes. Just a big boom fireball. Like stones go flying everywhere and splintered pebbles fall across the ground. And there is now like a 5-foot high circle, just a big crater in the wall, and you have an opening to the outside world where you can escape. However, you do not have your gear.
What form was I taking?
I mean, whichever form you wanted. You were covered mostly by your cloak. But I guess
But I'm
if
not
you
wearing a cloak. I thought they took
Yeah,
it from
you
me.
still have your cloak. They took your
They didn't take
gear,
your
like
clothes.
your bag of
Okay,
supplies.
so I still have my cloak. Yay, I don't
Yes.
have to change forms.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be getting that gear back at some point,
Mhm.
but I'll follow this guy for now.
Okay. So after this enormous explosion, you hear cries of surprise and anger from guards who all begin like grabbing weapons and charging
I'm
towards the
surprised
source of
and
this
angry.
blast. But you walk out the new opening that your friend has created.
Well,
And-
well, I'm still like close enough to see the guards. What are they doing? Like scampering to get their keys?
Well, if you were to like look around the gate of your cell, you would see them kind of rushing down the hall towards you. Some of them were around the corner. They weren't quite nearby
But
yet.
my cell is locked, so how are they gonna get it open?
They
They can
are
also
just
go out the
approaching.
main
People
door
are
and then
converging
loop
on this
around.
area. That's
All right, how many are there?
from what your ears tell you, many. An unknown
Okay.
number. The guy's like, "Come on, are you coming?" He's like gesturing down
Yeah,
into the street.
okay.
All right.
I look back and like think for a second, but then I follow him.
Okay. He doesn't look to make sure you're following. He just kind of rushes into the street and tries to like lose himself in the crowd of people who are kind of walking by and are now like, do we need to run in panic? What's going on here? And guards are kind of rushing from all sides towards the source of this like cloud of dust and smoke.
We ran in panic. Yes.
I follow
don't
his
wanna do it
example.
again.
Okay. So you try to blend into the crowd. Could I have you roll me stealth?
This one?
Is that D20? Yes.
14 plus. I need to remember to pull this up. $14 plus 3.
Okie dokie.
17.
So yeah, you and your companion with the hoods kind of try to blend into the crowd and hide as you're like walking along. However, the guards seem to catch sight of you anyway, and they're like, "Hey, hooded figures!" They just some of them begin like pushing their way through the crowd, trying to get to you. Most of them seem to be still preoccupied with discovering the source of the blast and figuring out what is going on. But there are now a good 3 or 4 guards that are like kind of looking at you over the heads of the crowd and trying to follow the cloaks. What would you like to do? To paint the scene a little bit, you are in the district that is a little bit more well off. There are stone streets, stone buildings around you. There is a the docks off to your left, maybe a block or so, where there's a rich commerce, like plenty of ships and fishing boats, that kind of thing. This isn't exactly a market district. This is more of like shops on either side, people going about their days. But yeah, basically, you're running down a street at this point.
Yeah, well, we're gonna duck off into an alley at some point. Where's he headed? I don't want to lose him completely.
He is trying to head into a shop, it seems. Like he's trying to like lead his way quickly through the crowd and make it to a shop off to the left. As you watch him, he quickly ducks into this shop. It is a textile shop, and he's just kind of looking back and forth. The textile shop owner is just kind of standing there like, what's happening? And then your guide quickly like shows his red pen and then walks behind the counter. And the guy's just like, okay. And he opens up a trap door and motions for you to jump in.
Sounds good. Let's go.
All right. The guards are still a little bit ways behind you. They're not like right on your heels. So as you enter this shop and close the door behind you, you hear shouting and "Stop! Halt! Come back!" From outside. But they did not see you as you go around the counter and look down into this trapdoor, which is basically just a large secret passage of some kind. It's like a long hallway that goes down into the sewers.
I want to just fall into it. I don't even look before I go into it.
Okay. It's not a very far drop. It's like 5 feet. So yeah, you're good.
I was bracing myself for like 20 feet, so.
Nope, you fall down. It's like a 5 or 6 foot drop, and then you can stand up as you're walking down this passageway. The other guy kind of leads you, and you hear the door close above you, and some small like shuffling from above. And with that, let's move on to Mama Swizzle and QZeth. As you guys enter the sewers, it's kind of a big maze. Oh, Mama Swizzle's out for the count.
Oh, I guess. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay. I guess I'll get a drink too.
No, this is back. No, EJ! No!
I just had to shut my
Wait,
door. My
then
dogs
leave.
were barking. Okay, if they're gonna do that, I gotta use the bathroom. Be right back.
Mind is melting. No, he's back!
we're playing a game of telephone, pretty much. It's telephone tag. One person leaves, another person comes back. One person leaves, another
Ray
person.
was just checking on his dogs. He still had his headset on.
Oh, I see. Sorry, my bad. So is he still here?
He came back, and then he saw that you had left. So he's like, all right, I'm just going to go and pee then. And then he's gone.
Sorry.
And then you come back as he leaves.
I'm so sorry.
What's going on?
Nothing. So Ananias,
Shenanigans.
you successfully have like gotten into this
Don't you know
passage.
Newton's cradles? That's what's happening with our current D&D campaign. One person, boom, leaves. The other person leaves. Boom, coming back. They come back. They leave. They come back. They leave. They come back. They leave. That's what's happening.
Accurate. Alright, well, Ananias, you successfully made it into this secret passage, and it seems like the shopkeeper is, like, covering for you. The guards, you hear a faint, like, where did they go? And the shopkeeper's like, who go? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But he's, like, kind of nervous, and the guards kind of thump around the house, and they're like, yeah, alright, but they can't seem to find you. So you continue down the hallway, and you are safe for now. I guess... Well, I thought Ray was back.
Well, the damn dogs keep on barking, so...
Gotcha. Alrighty. So, Qzeth and Mama Swizzle, you have successfully made it into the sewers after knocking out a guard and leaning him up against a rock, so it looks like he's still guarding, even though he's not. He's knocked out.
I forgot that I did that.
So you're in a dark, dank sewer. There are no light sources other than what you bring with you. So if you'd like, you can pull out a torch or something. But it is dank, smelly, slimy, and a bit of a maze down here. What would you like to do?
You could say it's amazing.
Now, if I'm checking right now because I can give myself dark vision, but I don't know if I could give Mama Swizzle dark vision.
Oh, with the way of the
so
monkey?
if I,
With
with
shadow.
the way with my way of the shadow, which is in my others. No, it's in my notes. There it is. Way of the shadow. 2 chi point to cast darkness, dark vision, or pass without trace. So I can cast dark vision, but is dark vision something you can cast on others or only yourself? Is what I must figure out now.
I
think you would cast dark vision on others.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the question is, do I have four of the points?
4 key points.
4 key points. Yeah.
You should be able to check.
So I'm trying to check right now.
Let me click on your character sheet.
Well, I've been on my character sheet.
Oh, your character sheet.
Oh, character.
It looks like you have 3 key points at this point.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's only 3.
Then let's take out a torch.
Yep, take out a torch.
Why does it tell you that you can cast something that takes 4 if you only have 3 at this point?
No, I would use it twice, because 1 for Ray, 1 for me, because I don't think casting dark vision
I see.
is like an area thing. It's like a on a person thing.
Yeah.
Unless it is just like, I cast dark vision. Now everybody in this circle has dark vision.
Well, it is a range
X
of
amount
touch.
of time.
I think that makes the most sense.
So yeah, it's just 1.
Well, I'm touching myself at all times.
Yeah.
So if I touch somebody else, does that give it to me and them? That's the question.
No, it's 1.
What if I do this?
I'm not sure we're on the same page here.
That sounds pretty reasonable to me.
What if we temporarily do like a Dragon Ball fusion sequence so we are the same person, and then we separate again with both dark vision?
Oh,
So you pull out a torch.
Yeah, so we light a torch.
Who's got the torch? Both of you? Just
One of us probably lost our torch to Ananias taking it.
That was me.
Yeah, so I still have mine. Yes, I will take out my torch and light it.
Okay, yeah, you light your torch, no problems. It is now lighting an area 20 feet in front of you with bright light and 20 feet beyond that with dim light.
It's a good torch.
You can see ahead of you that there's branching pathways along the sewer. It's mainly just kind of one long winding like main sewer system, but then there's also branching paths that go off to different homes and various places. And you hear various sounds of like bubbling and water rushing. It smells absolutely terrible. It doesn't look very well kept down here, like maintenance hasn't been done in a while or whatever. There's loose stones everywhere. It's kind of like overgrown with moss and decay. There are some rats skittering about and some bones lying around. It's overall not the most pleasant place. Do you guys want to do anything in particular? Or just like follow, explore, try to figure out where to go? Listen for things out of place?
Mama Swizzle, being confident in herself, starts taking the lead and just goes straight forward.
Yeah, I figured that would happen, so I'm just following Mama Swizzle.
Sounds good. Mama Swizzle, could I have you roll me a
D100.
an investigation check? If you're trying to figure out the correct way to go, or are you just going randomly?
Let's try to figure out the right way to go.
Okay.
Wow, that's new.
8.
That's not new.
Less new. That
Well,
is
I mean,
less
considering he usually nat 20s on these things, that is new.
new.
Okay, Ray.
No,
you,
it's just hitting things with a stone.
you
with
notice
disadvantage.
some footprints in the sludge, but it's not very clear where they go. There seems to be multiple sets of them, and they kind of branch off in different directions, as though these sewers are traversed often. So which way to go is up to anyone's guess.
I point to the footprints and then point to, what's your character's name again? Qzeeth.
Yeah.
Mama Swizzle. Mama Swizzle.
Yes, those look like footprints. I reckon we're on the correct track.
Okay, I just take like the left path or something because you said that.
Okay. So you head off to the left, and you begin trying to figure out where you should go in these sewers. I need to think for a moment about what happens there. So in the meantime, let's move on to the butler conversation with Carmen. Last
Fair
you were
enough.
talking to the butler, he basically said, yeah, there might have been a time where I wasn't paying attention to the drinks while I was preparing them to be served. Why do you ask?
Mhm.
Something like that. And that's where we cut off, mid-sentence.
I forget where I was going with that conversation.
I never knew. I am just a simple butler. So sorry for forgetting to introduce myself, by the way. I am Butler Carruthers, and your name is?
I'm Carmen.
It's a very
I'm here to
pleasure
help.
to meet you.
It's a
That
pleasure
is
to meet you as
proper
well.
grammar. He like reaches out for your hand.
She'll shake it firmly.
I know he was like trying to kiss your hand or something.
Oh,
I don't know if you accept that.
yeah. I mean, it's royal. It's like polite
Mhm.
manners, I guess.
Yeah, he does that.
Okay. Could you tell me about the other guests? Being the butler, I'm sure you have quite the bit of information.
Oh yes. Well, this is the Hoodernite Manor, as you know. Lady Swinford and Sir Henry Swinford were the proponents of this establishment. This is their home. They are proud protectors of this realm. They enchant things with protection magic, and they work hard to do what they do. I will say that their experiments are not always successful, but they do many good things. The people who are currently here are guests on a business trip. The professor, whose name I can never recall, I don't think he can recall it himself half the time. He is someone who works for the Citadel of Arkanas. He does research into new spells and that kind of thing. Henrietta is a diplomat from another realm, the kingdom of Lydion, far across the sea to the east. We're trying to reopen, or they are trying to reopen trade routes with them to sell their magical enchantments overseas. It has long since been cut contact and few trade routes because of the calamity many hundreds of years ago that kind of separated the land. And then Roxanne, she's a real piece of work, a businesswoman from the main city of needing to look up the name. There's too many notes here, I'm sorry. The main city of Gravitate Currentibus. Do you need to know anything else? Those are the three main guests that are here.
And would you, in your professional opinion, who do you think would have the most to gain from hurting the Lord and Lady?
Well, this is quite a question. I'm not saying I know anything more than I'm a simple butler
I'm
here.
simply asking
I
for your
don't-
opinion.
I don't know if I should answer this question. I do what I do. My job is to
This
listen
might help
and
me.
work
This might help me
in
find them
peace
though,
without
and solve this crime.
inserting myself into other people's business. Okay. Can you roll me a persuasion check to try to
Sure,
convince
I
him
can
to
do
get
that.
his information?
Okay, that's a +4. Okay. Wait, 3 +3. I can do that. Wait, what's my persuasion? Oh, I do have persuasion. It's +5. That is a 12 + 5, so 17.
Oof. Very, very good. I think the professor would be the first to admit that he does not always get along with Lady Swinford and Sir Henry Swinford. He is a bit of a business competitor, which is why they both were a bit at odds with each other during the dinner yesternight. But I can't imagine that he would go out of his way to hurt anyone. He's, well, it's the old man. Not to be rude, of course. It's not my place to judge.
Of
those
course.
things.
Well, thank you for your opinion in the matter.
Of course. Is there anything I can do for you or get you?
Not at the moment, but if I do come across anything else, I will be sure to let you know.
Very well. I believe if you're looking for the others, Roxanne and Henrietta were in the cellar where they ought not to be. So if you could lead them out of there, that would be great. I have a couple things to clean up in my room before I join
Okay.
you. Very
Guess
well.
the cellar will be my next destination.
Bless you, cat. Alright, so would you like to head off to the cellar then? Or have the
Yeah.
maid lead you that way? Okay.
Yeah.
So the maid turns it to you and she's like, shall we?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay. She begins leading you down towards the cellar. Takes a couple turns, but the directions aren't really important for this.
Mm-hmm.
She opens the door to the cellar and she's like, I'm not sure exactly why they're down here, considering this is a strictly off-limits area. I've only been working here 3 months, and I've only been down here twice, ever. And it was only for strictly cleaning purposes, so this is a pretty off-limits
Why is the cellar
area.
off limits?
Because this is where the Swinfords did their research into how to create more powerful enchantments. So there's lots of unstable and dangerous components down here, and it's not a very good place to be, I would say. But yes, let's continue. And gestures down
Okay.
the stairs.
Follow us
Alright.
down the stairs.
Let's go back to Ananias for a bit. I'm sorry, I'm trying to balance.
Okay, what day did these people get murdered at? Just
They
so I
were
know.
kidnapped the same time you guys were doing your exploration of that other cave. So basically, they were like, "Oh, this is when the people were kidnapped," and you all were like, "But we were with Ananias at that time. It couldn't have been them." And they were like, "Well, you're one of the hooded figures. We gotta arrest someone. The hooded figures are the ones that are responsible for this. So heckin', you're going to jail for a bit." That's basically how things went down.
Oh dear, this is about to be a whole mess.
Yep. So, Ananias, you now follow a hooded figure, one of your own, down into a mysterious series of tunnels. What would you like to do? Anything in particular?
I don't want to touch the walls.
Yeah, they're dank and slimy, so that's completely fair. This is a passageway that just kind of goes one direction. No branching off pathways at this point. Thanks for the contribution, Ray.
You're welcome.
um, no, let's just go down the wall. And I'm thinking about my stuff.
Mhm.
I have some magical artifacts that they've confiscated.
Oh, I should have thought of that. You want to go back and get them, I presume?
I do. I was hoping to make a contribution to the group.
Very well. Well, we perhaps should have gone with the stealthy approach then, instead of the loud approach. There will be many guards crawling about that place at this point. We have time, I suppose.
Do they keep the items in the prison, or is there?
Well, I assume it's been a long time since I've been in prison myself, but yes, I would say the prison is probably where your items are.
Okay. Does this
Okay.
tunnel connect anywhere near there?
Yes. Yes, it does. Do you want to go back right now? It might be better to wait an hour or two and we can come back for it. Of course, if our offering tonight is successful, which we hope it will, then the items won't matter. The world will come to a shattering conclusion. And the items will matter not.
Tonight.
Yes, at dusk. You received the...
I thought it was. We're meeting at dawn.
No, it is dusk.
The paper that I swallowed said we are meeting at dawn.
It said dusk.
You'll be able to read the paper tomorrow, don't worry.
I hope not.
I blink at him in surprise, and I mean, I guess he can't see me blink, but I'm surprised that it's dusk.
He stopped moving down the passage at this point, by the way, because like you're at an intersection, and he's trying to decide where we go. So you look at him in surprise. By the way, last session I roleplayed that your character knew what time it was, so so if you forgot what time it was, that's retcon.
I'm pretty sure that before it had gone back and forth between the two.
No,
Yeah,
it was always dusk. It never was dawn.
Yeah, it was always dusk.
What?
I can confirm.
What the heck?
But I mean, I will say that Ananias had always been treating it like it was dawn. So EJ might have always said dusk, but every single time that Ananias would reference it, she would say dawn. So it was going back and forth between the two.
So Ananias is an idiot, is what we've learned.
No, I think I just wrote it down wrong.
But to be
Which
fair,
is really funny because you confirmed it with me. You were like, okay, what time is it? So I can write it down. And I said dusk. And you're like, okay. And I assumed you would get it from there. But I guess you wrote it down wrong at that time too.
I'm gonna like find it because I must have wrote it somewhere in here.
It's okay. I don't blame you. Things happen.
But yeah.
But anyway, it is at dusk. You can decide if your
And it's
character knows
better
that it's
that
at
way
dusk
as
or not.
well. It's better that way as well because otherwise you would have missed
Yeah,
it.
dawn has already happened.
Dawn has happened. Dawn is long gone.
I worry the ceremony may not be complete without my items.
Well, how involved were you with the planning process? I'm not sure which one you are under that hood.
Highly involved.
Oh, I thought your name was Tyler.
Okay, let me just pull up my Redcon book real quick. Okay. Which item did you bring for the ceremony? And if you were involved highly with it, then the item you could be bringing is a shard, like a black stone shard of an odd shape.
She also could have just been lying about being highly involved to get her stuff.
That is true. It is up to you, Kat, because we're kind of making this up as we go, it seems.
No, it is not something that will be on your list.
Just when EJ thought he was ready.
It is an
I
elixir.
think EJ needs more information about what you're trying to do.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
an elixir. It
An
is.
elixir. I see. I was not aware there was
It is
an
very
elixir.
dangerous and potent.
Very well. Remind me not to touch it. So, I suppose we need that item for our ritual then. Wish they would tell me a little more
Indeed.
what's going on. Why are we all so secretive all the time? Nobody knows what's happening half the time. Anyway, we will get your items back. I do think it would be prudent to wait perhaps an hour for them to clean up the mess and to avoid us being spotted immediately. But we should get those items back. How about we pop up of another secret passage down in the poor district, and we can take a casual walk back. Perhaps even take off our cloaks. So that we blend in
Gonna just
better. They
observe
seem
them
to
for a
be-
minute.
We could, but we need to avoid drawing undue attention to ourselves. At this point, he pulls off his hood, and you can see that he is a human man with a tiny little mustache, and just looks like he hasn't shaved in a while. And he's got blonde hair, and he's just kind of sitting there with narrowed eyes. And he's like,
I do not pull back my hood, and instead I continue on walking.
Which way do you walk? Towards the place you suggested, or elsewhere?
Towards the place he suggested.
Very well. So the two of you begin walking down the passage. This guy's trying to, like, think about strategies, it seems. And he's, like, muttering to himself, like, oh, I could use potion. And you guys begin walking off towards the poorer district. Cusies and Mama Swizzle, you are in the same kind of tunnels still. And at this point, you begin to hear skittering and, like, low breathing from...
Mama Swizzle, does that sound like skittering or scattering to you?
Mama Swizzle.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's definitely skittering.
Your voices echo down the chamber and then reverberate back to you, and the skittering stops. The only
Well-
sounds are the trickling of water.
Well, maybe I was wrong. It was scattering. I say, trying to see if they're gonna start moving again.
It does begin moving again.
I didn't need to roll, but turns out I just rolled a crit 20 for the charisma on convincing them that I had no
No.
idea that it was them.
It's moving at a different texture to it. Instead of like running and doing their thing, it seems more cautious, like, oh, what's going on now?
But it's still moving towards us.
It is not moving towards you, but you do hear like footsteps kind of
Okay.
echoing faintly off the passage to your left.
I look at Mama Swizzle and I kind of like shake my head towards the direction of the noise, like as if we should go and like do one, you know.
Mama Swizzle.
And then we walk towards the noise.
Mm-hmm. Do you walk directly into the passage or peek around the corner first, or what?
I mean, we're sneaking around,
Okay. As
so
you
we peek in, I guess. Yeah.
as you lift your torch around the corner to see into this passageway off to the left, you see a bunch of tiny pinpricks of white light in the darkness, flickering from just beyond your torchlight.
Pinpricks of darkness.
Pinpricks of light,
So like
Flickering
stars
back.
inside a sewer wall.
kind of.
Okay.
The sounds are once again quiet.
But we were moving towards them. Is it moving faster than us?
No, the sounds are once again silent as you are approaching.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
There
are
are a
those
couple-
pinpricks holes?
No. You
Okay.
can see as you're looking for a couple seconds, you see some of them blink out of existence and then come back a moment later. And then you begin to hear noises again as some of them
Wallfire
move towards you.
Can I investigate them?
As they're entering the torchlight, you see that it is a bunch of rats.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So there's kind of a swarm of rats that are slowly entering your torchlight and beginning to like run along the floor towards you guys. The skittering once again resumes, and you hear a lower like breathing and a as like a larger set of eyes that you now recognize as like the reflection of eyes, and your light is like walking towards you from the darkness as well.
Well, Mama Suzel, just when I thought that I was tricked by a bunch of rats, I think that we found someone. Hello there! Hail and good fortune!
You see like a giant like 2 teeth mouth just kind of open with a horrible like scarred and bloated face of a giant rat that's like lumbering into the darkness or into your light along with these rats. This does not seem to be what you're looking for.
Oh, I was fooled by rats.
You still have enough time if you would like to try to escape.
Yeah,
otherwise,
I think
if you wait
I
around,
grab.
they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
get
grab
to you.
Mama Suzel and run back.
Okay, back the way you came.
Yes, the way it
Okay.
came.
Are you going to carry me?
Unless was there not a different path that we could have walked?
There are several paths you were walking. You were basically going along one path, and then there was a path off to the left, and you're like, oh, what's going? Oh, so you can keep going
Okay.
that way. You can keep going that way.
Yeah, I
whichever
think we
way.
turn around and go back down the other path.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you turn around and backtrack, and you're just running down this passage. Could I have you guys roll me dexterity as you're like tromping through this muck at the bottom of the?
Sure.
Yeah. Mama Swizzle, are you being carried or are you doing your thing?
I don't know.
Running
Did you
yourself.
carry me, QZ?
Yeah, I carried you.
Okay. In
Um,
that case, could
but
I
I
have you roll me
roll-
strength as well?
Do I
So
still
I
need to
rolled
do dex?
a 12 for Dex
Okay.
and an 8 for Strength.
Okay, when you try to pick up Mama Swizzle, you kind of fumble a little bit and don't manage to lift her up. Mama Swizzle, you're on your own to run. What's your movement?
All right. My movement is 25 feet.
Okay.
And my dex I rolled is 11.
Okay. So you guys are running along this passage. QZ's like, oh, all right. I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen. You keep running.
I grabbed to pick up Mama Swizzle and then just like,
you just kind of like
trying
lift
to
off her
pick up a
cloak by
stick of
accident.
butter.
Oops. So you're running down this passage back the way you came, and Mama Swizzle, you feel like you falling behind a little bit. So once you're like about 5 feet behind QZ and he's pulling ahead of you, you feel a small nip on the back of your ankle as what these rats begin to catch up to you and like begin leaping onto your back. I guess we need to roll initiative at this point, unless you'd like to keep running real fast, and that's all you want to do.
We're going to
Did
roll
Mama
initiative.
Swizzle scream out?
All right.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
21.
Nice.
21.
Okay. Oh man. We'll say that's
15 for me.
we'll say that's 4 piercing damage to you, Mama Swizzle, as you feel like 4 rats just kind of cling to your back with their little teeth digging into your flesh. Or your
Nibble,
feathers.
nibble, nibble.
Where is my writing utensil? Okay. What was your QZ initiative?
15.
Okay. And Mama Swizzle?
My initiative 21.
Okay.
Cat posting pictures of rats.
Give me a second. Alrighty, it is up to you, Mama Swizzle. You're first. What would you like to do?
Okay. First off, just there in front of me, but not so close where it will affect me too. I'd like to throw down a spike growth.
Okay. Let me check what that spell does. Because
Range is 150 feet. The area is 20 feet.
okay.
And the ground in a 20 feet radius centered on a point within range twists and sprouts, hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, they take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Okay. That is good. Does it affect creatures that are tiny? I guess so. Doesn't say otherwise.
Why
Yeah, it
not?
doesn't say otherwise.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'd assume it wasn't.
you can
I'd assume it wouldn't affect flying, though, considering it says the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area has to do a wisdom perception to check the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, who's holding the torch, by the way, as you're doing this? QZ still?
QZ.
I've been, yeah.
Okay.
Probably
So-
the reason why I wasn't able to pick up Mama Swizzle.
Probably.
Yeah. Mama Swizzle. Yeah, you like tried to pick her up and just like accidentally almost burned her. Mama Swizzle, you feel these bites on your back and you're just like, ah! And you cast Spike Growth. Suddenly the floor of this chamber grows into these horrible, twisted, thorny bushes. And the rats that were trying to run across them suddenly get squished between these tendrils of spiky underbrush. And you can see some of them get pinned between them and are caught, and others are getting stabbed as they're trying to leap over them and desperately try to get at you. The majority of them are either behind this or in this area as it's like writhing and coming to a stop, capturing these rats in place and stabbing many of them badly. You see the two eyes that were larger and were lumbering after you are stopped behind it, just out of view of the torchlight, beyond or except for the two reflecting eyes. And you hear a roar of fury as only the 4 rats that were on your back and a couple others that happen to be close enough to you are left. But you've basically stopped all these rats in their tracks. There's only these 6 rats remaining, basically. Teeny little things. Would you like to do anything else, or is that your turn?
That's a concentration action, so
Okay.
I think I'm good.
Alrighty. QZ, you are up then.
Alright, well, I turn
You just
around
hear
after
a horrible
hearing...
grinding sound as
Yeah,
the stones
Mama
of this chamber
Swizzle.
are like moved around, and the flow of water is kind of stopped and begins to divert around these thorns. You
Mhm.
hear cries of
Okay.
rat fury as squeaks of the dark echo along the chamber.
Rat fury.
So are there still some rats, like, on Mama Swizzle?
There are still 4 rats clinging to her back, and 2 that are on the ground, kind of trying to nip at her.
Okay. Well, I run back, and I kind of, like, swipe the rats
You're within
that
5
were
feet.
on...
You don't need to run back, but yeah.
I turn around back, and I...
Yeah, you lay the smack
yeah.
down.
Yeah, I wipe
Lay
them
the
off
smack down.
of Mama Swizzle's back.
Could
That's
I
what I'm
have
trying to
you?
do.
Are you like trying to damage them as you're doing this, like a karate
Yeah,
chop?
so I'm trying to damage them like it's a bot, but like mostly I'm trying to get them off of Mama Swizzle's back, and specifically I'm not trying to hit Mama Swizzle.
Yeah. Okay. Could you roll me your attack actions?
Yes, I can. Unarmed strike.
Well, that's terrifying, Cat.
Oh! Crit 20, 26
Hey!
total.
Rat King,
Amazing.
Rat King, Rat Kings are a real thing, and they are also a mythological creature.
I'm scared. Why are there so many pictures of rats? Oh
Cat's
no.
been busy.
Oh no. Oh no.
That is terrifying looking.
I'm horrified. I don't like this at all.
He
All
is
right.
horrified.
So now we'll roll for damage. Please roll.
QZ rolled unarmed strike 9.
I accidentally clicked it twice. So one of them was a 4, one of them was a 1. So it's either you want to say it's 8 or 5 damage.
Wait, didn't you do 2 attacks?
I just swiped. That was just my first attack. I was going to
okay.
do a second attack.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I said do 2 attacks, just roll the second one as well.
Oh, okay. So, second one to hit is 17.
Mm-hmm.
And so for the first one, I think I'll use the 8. And then for the second one, I was trying to get the ones that were at Mama Swizzle's toes. I was going to kick them away. And then I'll use the 5 for that.
And then since the first one was a crit, that's doubled the dice roll damage as well.
Yeah, so that's a 16.
Is that with your additions, or is that you rolled something?
So I rolled a 4 for the damage,
So
and then it's plus 4.
Okay, so it's the 4 that gets doubled.
Is it only the dice? Yeah, it's only the dice.
Yeah, it's only the dice. So then it's 8 damage
So
plus 4, so that's 12 damage plus
12,
your other
yeah.
attack, which is...
Yeah, 12, and then 5 for the other attack.
Okay, so that's 17 total damage as you're smacking these rats off. And yeah, you basically just boom, boom, just destroy these rats, like knocking them off Mama Swizzle's back, and they all fall to the ground. There's only these... You basically just slam them so hard into the ground they just are stunned and stop moving. The 2 that are still trying to nip at Mama's heels are the only ones that are remaining at this point. Would you like to use movement or no?
I'll try and... Can I try and re-grab Mama Swizzle to keep running?
Technically, that would be another action, but sure, why not?
Yeah. Because that's what I was gonna try and do, like with my movement, to like grab Mama Swizzle and keep on moving.
Oh, okay. So you want to... Yeah, that's fine. Just roll me strength real quick.
Yeah. It's a 21 total.
Nice. Yeah, this time you pick up Mama Swizzle, like, holding the torch in one hand. You're just kind of wrap your arms around her, and you just begin running away. These 2 rats attempt to nip at your ankles as you're going, but only one of them manages to grab on. He just, like, tries to leap up and grab at your wing, dealing you 1 damage, 1 piercing damage as he, like, bites onto your burned wing. And
gotcha.
It doesn't do much to you. You're easily able to like shake it off as you're continuing to move down the passage, and the rest of the rats are still like crying out in pain and fury as you guys are making your escape. And with that, we'll move on to Carmen once again.
Okay.
Oh, I was not ready for combat.
Surprise.
Yep. Alrighty. So Carmen, you're moving on to the cellar as the maid opens the door for you, and you see the wooden steps heading down. You're immediately greeted by several strange smells all mixed together. It's like bubbling alchemy ingredients and like the faint smell of like cut grass or something, and some kind of animal poop. You're not sure exactly what it is. It's like a mix of both good smells and terrible smells all mixed into one overwhelming scent as you're greeted by this this passageway down, and you can see some faint lights coming from below, like
Magic
it's a lit room
users.
down below. Yeah,
Used to this.
you probably would be indeed. So
Okay.
the maid gestures for you to go down first, and kind of she holds her nose at the smell.
All right. She will go down the steps,
Mhm.
and As I go downstairs, and like get a sight of the room, can I look for any secret passageways or something that might just stand out? Because if someone's gonna disappear, it's probably gonna be through a secret tunnel they have in their secret cellar that not many people are allowed into.
Yes. Okay. So, roll me. You know what? You're looking specifically for secret doors and that kind of thing.
No.
I
There's
will
some
say
schematics
that
don't fit.
you do notice there's a section of wall in the back of the room that doesn't seem to like fully mesh in with the rest of the stones. Like there seems to be a slight discrepancy. You can investigate it further if you'd like.
Yes, I would.
But first off, as you're
Yes.
descending down the stairs into the room, you can hear the faint voices echoing from below. You hear, "I promise you, this looks bad, but this deal can still work. I have a much stronger relationship with Alucard than that professor. Oh, hello. I didn't see you come in." And you see a very large, kind of husky woman in all black and with like black makeup, black hair. She looks like a goth girl, but just like 7 feet tall. She's like a mountain of a woman standing in this room, and she's talking to this other lady who has like basically a long dress on with brightly colored patterns on it, and a hat, like a veil kind of thing,
Hmm.
covering most of her face. You can see that her skin is purplish. She's like a dark elf, it seems, and she's holding a cat, and she turns to you as well, and she's just petting this white cat as she stands there. Um, they turn to you and they're like, hello, how may I help you?"
I'm conducting an investigation.
There's also like tons of magical items and
Yeah.
stuff, and beakers with things boiling, and tons of the bits and bobs of a laboratory, magical laboratory. So you're conducting an investigation, you said?
Hmm.
Investigation? Oh, that's impressive. How did you get in here?
Paladins have their ways.
Ah, hmm. I will need to learn of this paladin way. So I'm not being very clear with my voices because I'm terrible, but there's two people speaking.
Yeah.
One of them has like a kind of French accent that I can't do, and one of them has just like a large crazy voice like this.
Okay.
I'll try to keep them straight. I'm really sorry in
It's all
advance.
good.
So, well, hello. What is your name, Miss Paladin?
You can refer to me as Carmen. May I get your
Carmen.
names?
Oh, I am Roxanne, and this is Henrietta. She's from a far-off kingdom and doesn't have time to talk to people like you. We are conducting a business exchange here, if you wouldn't mind leaving us alone.
Perhaps your business exchange would best be conducted somewhere else. This area does seem to be a rather volatile environment,
Well,
not
it's
very
the only place
conductive.
we could get some privacy.
Have you tried your guest rooms?
The butler barges in quite frequently to ask if we need anything. I wasn't comfortable with discussing our business in there.
Perhaps Abigail could tell the butler to leave you alone while your business deal is happening.
I suppose that would work. The smell would be much more tolerable. Anyway, do you need something from us?
I was simply going to ask for your account of the previous night. I do
Oh,
pride
yes.
myself on hearing everyone's point of view.
Very well. Have you found the Mr. and Mrs. yet?
That is what I'm working on.
Ah, I see. Well, I do hope they're alright. What happened last night was we all had our dinner. The Swinfords decided that they were going to head off to their bed for the night because they weren't feeling well, but then
Yes, their drinks were spiked. I've already figured that out.
spiked. Spiked.
There was. She doesn't have the cup anymore because she left it behind. Their
Mhm.
cups had poison in it. More than likely to
how
keep.
dreadful. That's terrible.
Exactly. This case is getting more complicated by the minute, but do continue.
Well, after they drank their are they dead? Is this deadly
I don't
poison?
believe so.
Oh, okay. Well, the Swinfords retired to their room for the night. Then after that, I heard a strange sound, so I went out to investigate the noise that I heard. And after I left my guest room, I noticed the dark figure, the hooded figure, just dragging off Lady Swinford like there was nothing wrong with this picture. And I obviously screamed and was shocked. And then they pushed me down the stairs and I fell to the ground and the professor came to
May I
my
ask
aid.
you a question?
Yes.
How did the hooded figure push you down the stairs?
With their hands!
So you saw them in the hallway on top of the stairs.
Yes.
And then
they were
they pushed
dragging
you
the
down
body.
the stairs.
Yes, and they entered the library from what I was aware of, but I was pushed down the stairs after that, so I told the professor what happened as he lifted me up, and then he ran upstairs and couldn't find any evidence of them. Or at least that's what he says.
Interesting. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. I was not hurt, thank you for asking, but that's all I know. I don't believe Henrietta has much more information than I do. I don't know what expression Kat was making there.
These ladies sound like they're about to kill each other. It's like fake politeness. It's like real ladies. I'm having
Yeah,
like
I was about to say that's how
secondhand
real ladies
embarrassing.
work, right?
I'm like, this feels too real to me.
She's
It's-
being
it's like-
called out and she doesn't
yeah.
like it.
I don't.
Oh, dear.
Except Carmen Cannon actually could kill this lady.
Ladies scare me.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yes, I did not see anything more than this. I also heard a strange sound, so I went outside, and I saw this hooded figure run past the trophy room, but I did not see more than that. I did not go and investigate. My room was on the ground floor, so I did not see this horrifying monstrosity upstairs. But I
And
don't
did you
know
see
where
the
they
hooded
are.
figure with
Yes,
the
I
body
saw-
of the missus?
I saw the hooded figure, but not any bodies. Or you said they were all right? They're not
Oh, well,
dead.
if they were unconscious, then
Hmm.
it would be them with the body.
I see. Ugh. This business schedule is getting quite out of hand. I don't think I want any more part of it.
Perhaps clearing your head with this pungent smell might help.
Yes, this is not the best meeting place. Shall we ascend?
And Roxanne just kind of, oh, if we must. She begins like turning to walk up the stairs. Are you coming with us, Miss Paladin Investigator?
There's two things I need to look into down here, and then I will be going upstairs myself.
Very well. I do believe this place was off limits. Do you have credentials to mess with anything down here?
I have a personal backing from the captain of the guard.
Very well. If you must. And she ascends the stairs, followed by Henrietta.
Alright, as soon as they're gone, she's gonna go straight to that wall.
Okay. The maid, as you're like turning to go do some stuff, she's like, I really don't think we should be what are you doing? But she kind of follows you.
She's going to.
I feel it's my
I'll say-
responsibility to stay with you so you don't get in trouble here. Don't we should...
I appreciate your presence here. I'm not messing with any of their experiments or belongings. I'm simply interested in this wall. And I'm going to
She looks at
start
the wall.
I'm going to start messing with the wall.
Okay. As you like push on it and kind of pull on it a little bit, you can feel that this is like a full panel that's kind of each of the stones are all kind of cemented together, forming one solid panel that can be moved and shifted a little bit, and you eventually get it to catch, so it slides off to the side, revealing a secret passage beyond.
This
The maid
could
just
lead to
kind of...
something interesting.
I'm certainly interested. But I'm not
Would you
supposed to be
accompany-
down here?
But this might lead us to returning your employers. back to where they rightfully belong.
That's fair. Are you stepping into there or just
Yes.
looking? Okay. So you take a step in, and as you do, you feel the air immediately shift from like being kind of a warm, comfortable laboratory feel to suddenly being much colder, like several degrees colder as you walk into this room. It's not like magically cold, but it's a colder area, and it seems to be like underground. You get the feeling of being even a little more deeper underground, and the air has no trace of that smell that was in the previous room. And as you look around, you see that there are several doors, like at the end of this hallway, and then it extends further down in some direction. So there's like several of these kind of hidden doors in various places along this hallway. About 5 to be complete. What would you like to
Okay.
do? And you also
I'm
on
gonna
the
start-
floor see muddy footsteps, like muddy footprints coming towards, like from the end of the hall, like far away, towards these doors, and it goes into one of them.
I am going to point out the footprints to Abigail.
She looks
I
at them.
doubt these would have been left by any of the guests.
I suppose not, unless one of them came from down there towards here.
Sorry, she doesn't have an accent.
Yeah, I suppose not. That's strange.
Did the hooded figure leave any mud behind?
I did encounter some footprints in the library. I was cleaning at that time. I didn't realize there was anything wrong, so I cleaned the carpet in the library from muddy footprints, but I didn't realize they were important. And then everyone talked about the chaos.
I'm gonna open the door that the muddy footprints go into.
It's the library, and you can see that the carpet has been recently cleaned.
I will shut the door and I say we have footprints to follow.
Well, we
And we're
did.
gonna-
They returned to the scene of the crime, it seems.
Well, aren't there some leading down the hallway, like away
They
from where we were?
There are no footprints going away. There are footprints coming towards that are muddy
So they went from
from wherever they were
the
to here.
yeah. So we can follow to wherever they went, and that should hopefully lead us to where they came in from.
I suppose so. This is not a part of the mansion. I must stay here with the guests. I hope you understand.
I do, and I hope you understand that I will not be disrupting any property during the search.
Yes, do what you must, I suppose.
All right.
I can't guarantee you can get back in this way. I don't know if this locks. This is enchanted with protection magic, of course, so I didn't.
Well, I'll just use my paladin ways, the window, to get back in.
If you must. All right.
She'll just nod to Abigail, and she will follow said footprints.
Okay. So the Abigail just kind of takes a step back and closes the secret door and goes back up the stairs. And you continue on down this passage. So back to Ananias. What would you like to do? You're going to the poorer district, and the guy who's leading you kind of opens up another trapdoor in a dilapidated building. This building has not seen use in a while. It's basically a pile of rubble at this point. He pushes some stones off, and he removes his cloak entirely and sets it aside, hiding it under some rocks. And he's like, well, if we're going to travel incognito, cloaks are probably not a good idea now that the guards are, looking for that.
I nod at him.
Actually, I had a sneaky voice, didn't I? I forgot.
Yeah, you
Too
had a
many
sneaky voice.
I had a sneaky
Is
voice.
there no entrance through the passageways into the prison itself?
Sadly, no. We don't have passageways into the prison, because none of us have been arrested in the line of duty before. So congratulations, you're the first at something. So,
Okay.
the
I
other
just nod.
the other side of town
Sorry?
is where the guard post is. That direction, and he gestures towards the direction.
Yeah. What is the main population of this town, by the way?
It's pretty large. It's getting to the point of being like a large metropolis kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying like what is the species, like the majority of the
Oh, I mean,
creatures living
humans
here?
are kind of the main species, but there are a big variety here. This is kind of a place where it's acceptable to be kind of whatever. There are goblins here that are like frowned upon a little bit, but they get by as long as you can prove that you're someone who's nice and beneficial to society. They'll tolerate pretty much anything.
All right. I take off my hood
Mhm.
and reveal my face to be of a human male, aged 20 to 25,
Mhm.
and with hair slicked back into a ponytail.
Mhm.
And I
You've got a
make
man
sure
bun.
it's tied back. A man bun? No, not a man bun. A ponytail. It's not
Okay.
too long. It goes down to like there.
Gotcha.
And I follow suit and do the same. Underneath my clothes, I am only wearing like white, and it is a little bit odd, but I am choosing human because that seems to be the majority of people in this, and I don't want unwanted attention.
Mhm. He makes no like startled reaction or anything. He's just like, oh, a human. Okay, cool. And he's like, all right, well, let's go scope out the joint, and begins walking down this street or the crumbled buildings towards the main streets again.
Okay. I
Wonderful.
still, by the way, I don't remember if I mentioned that I brought it with me, but I do have a shard of
Okay,
the pot.
gotcha. Sounds good. Shard of the pot. All right. The black stone.
Teapot.
Teapot? Is there a teapot that I'm not remembering? Are you talking
The
about something different?
peapot!
Oh, the
chamber.
chamber pot. I see. Okay.
I forgot what it's called. Thank you.
Gotcha.
She took her shiv.
Okay, so you've got a piece of a broken chamber pot.
Okay, yes.
Alright, you begin. I assume you're following him down the street towards the guard post once again?
Yeah.
Once you get there, or once you get close to there, you see that the street is pretty much cleared out of normal people doing their thing. There's still some people, walking by on the outskirts, but the guards are like on high alert, and they're kind of like gesturing for people to not come towards the guard post as you get closer. So nobody questions you as you're walking with this other man towards the area. How would you guys like to approach this as you get closer?
I like wave my hand towards the guard and I say, "Hey, what went on here?"
A prisoner escaped. They blasted their way out with some kind of alchemy. I'm not sure. It's not a good situation, but we'll sort it out. Just mind your own business. But if you see anyone in a black cloak, stay away. Keep your distance and report it to the guards immediately. They've been
Oh,
causing
I
all kinds of
actually
trouble.
did just see a man in a black coat.
Where?
He like ran. It was 2 streets over. He was
All right.
running along with a cloaked man, and we all just ducked and ran away because it was quite a commotion.
He immediately gestured to some of his guard friends. He says, "We got a report. Which street was it?" And just, like, you can give him a street name if you'd like.
Meadow Lane.
It's on Metal Lane. Send out 2 squads, and like gestures that direction, and several guards begin running that way. Thank you for your report, sir. Sir, you're a sir at this point.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else
Just
you'd like
like-
to report? Did you see what they were doing?
No, I didn't. They were running, but
There.
I'm dreadfully sorry that happened. You know, my father, he works on buildings, and if you would like, I can look at the damage.
Very well. We do need someone to repair our building. Right this way. And
Okay.
he begins walking towards the building. Is your friend here coming with you? He's just kind of standing off in the side, and he's like, okay, not saying anything.
He is also from a notable family, and he is my friend. He'll come with.
I am her assistant. Very well. he leads you to the building, and he says, "Well, this was the prison cell. Now it's a bit of a pile of rubble," and gestures to the absolute mess that has been created of their prison cell. It only was strong enough to blast a hole in one wall. It's not like the entire prison is destroyed, but there is a pretty sizable amount of damage.
I look obviously unimpressed, and I pick up pieces of the rubble,
Yep.
rub it between my fingers.
It's a bit of an old.
I've seen
guardhouse.
worse.
Well, what do you make of it? Do you would you like
It
to
looks
be
like-
hired for their affairs? You or your family?
I will tell my father. However, we need to know what the source of this was. It looks like the prisoner somehow brought in with him some explosive, and it seems it was not grabbed off of them. Do you have their belongings?
Yes, we do. We did search them. We took their weapons and their whatevers, but we're not experts in alchemy or whatever this was, so we're not exactly sure what the cause was.
Yes, may I look through that?
Look through their possessions?
Yes, I would like to find out what they could have used in order to craft an explosion of this sort. It seems like
How does that help
they
you
may
with
have had
repairing
a
the wall?
flask. We need to know whether or not magic was used. I say in a very convincing tone.
You want to roll persuasion?
17 plus. Where's persuasion? Plus 2. 19.
Well, I suppose it's possible that their blast could have had magic and influenced the stones around it. Do you need to investigate to see, like, if the rest of the area is? I'll just
I'll take a sample, and I scoop up some into a little pouch.
Okay, he was gesturing to like the area, not right in the blast, but like nearby, and he's like, I wonder if the magic affected that too. But he's like, all right, I'll have someone bring the bag out real quick. You just wait here, and he gestures to someone. He's like, bring out the prisoner, the suspect's belongings. We're gonna look through them or something. And the guy's like that guy with the question mark meme above his head. But
I continue to analyze the dirt samples.
he brings
Is there
out the
anything
bag
in them?
after a moment. Anything in the pile of dust? Well, you would notice that the outside of some of these bricks, like after where it's been blasted outward, like there's a residue of some kind. It seems slimy and it's blackened. Almost seems acidic when you touch it, so it's probably not the best to like rub your hands all
Does
over
it hurt?
It hurts a little bit. You don't want it on your hands, so you can like.
I smell it. What's it smell like?
It smells like sulfur and like lizard.
Okay. Lizard sulfur.
So after a moment, the other guard comes back holding the knapsack of belongings, and he's just like, why do you need this? Who are these people? No offense, ma'am, sir. Sorry, I cannot remember.
I take the bag from him and I look through it.
He just sets it on the ground, like in front of you, and the two guards watch you.
I'm the son of Mr. Whittlebottom, one of the constructors of this town.
Mr. Whittlebottom? I hadn't heard of him. I'm sorry.
It is all good.
It's a family name.
And I begin searching through, and I pull out the various flasks I have. And so I know what I have right now. I have 2.
One of fog and one of
the juice.
Yes, the juice.
The juice. The juice. What was the fog that? What color of fog do I have?
It was white or silvery, I believe. That was from the creature.
I open up the one with fog and I say, "Look here," and I waft some out, and I let him take a sniff of it.
Okay. Which guard? The main one or the one who just brought the stuff?
The main one,
Okay.
the one who's been talking to me.
What is this? And you waft it into his face, and he. Oh! As you open it, it like it hisses a little bit, and it's like billowing out this almost like dry ice, that kind of consistency of fog, and it is like wafting outward in all directions.
Okay, then I put the cap back on after a few seconds.
He's like,
I say,
oh my word, that is. Ugh. And you see a little smoke fall out of his lungs, and he's like, oh, I'm
I
almost
say
out of breath
that
after
that appears to have been what is the cause of this explosion. I believe they made a magical concoction out of it.
Well, how did they do that when we... Another, like, ring of smoke falls out of his lungs. We took that from them, though. They didn't have it on them when the blast happened.
You're right. You're right. I hand the bag over to my assistant. I say,
The whole bag?
"Is it
Okay.
all right if we take this to our lab to do some tests on it?"
Well, we kind of need to keep that. Well, do we need to keep that? We probably shouldn't just give that out. But you can take the flask.
Oh, that's all right. I take my sharp thing out of my pocket and I stab him.
Okay, where are you stabbing him?
Shiv.
What?
Where are you stabbing him?
What did he say?
Shiv, he says.
Shiv. It's called a shiv.
Yes, my shiv. Upper chest.
Okay. He does have, like, big plate armor on. So you can
Okay,
stab, like, in
then
the chink.
where the neck? Yeah, right here.
So
Not in
he's
the
like,
jugular, but like
I
right
don't
here.
know if that's really a good idea. Ah! And he just, like, falls backward. Could you roll me an attack roll? Just,
Cries and lawful good.
Yeah, do it as a dexterity attack.
Okay, wait. What should I be rolling?
Just roll a dexterity attack.
Okay, that's 18. Why I'm rolling
This would
high?
be
These
an
are good
impressed weapon.
dice. Plus what?
What did you get? 18 plus something? Add your dexterity modifier and...
Dex. That is +3.
Is that 21 total then?
Yes.
Okay, and roll me a d4 for the damage.
Is that this?
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
The pointy boy.
It says 2.
Nice. So you just jam this shard of chamber pot pottery into his, like, clavicle, and he reels back in pain, completely surprised by this, and stumbles backward like, oh, bellowing in rage, and turning the attention of many guards to look at him. Your assistant is standing there holding the bag. He's like, time to go. And just begins running.
Okay. Yeah.
Once again,
Well,
you're running through the streets.
we run, and this time, we duck off into the same area we came from, where we had come out, where there was
that
a
is
little
a bit
opening.
of a distance away, because you kind of walked across the town from the poorer district to the uppity district, so that you wouldn't be spotted. There are probably closer escape points, unless you want to just run across the whole town. It's up to you.
I mean, he's already left before me. Where's he running to?
He's running to the same place he did last time.
Okay, then we go to that place.
Okay. So your partner ducks into the exact same building he did before. He's like, "Hi, Fred," and dives into the same, like he kicks a small rug off of the trapdoor, throws it open, and jumps in again. And do you follow? Fred's just standing there like, twice in one day, the guards are gonna realize. And he slams it above you and shoves the rug across again. And he's just like, this is not gonna be a good day.
All right. This time I know the passageway, and I walk over to where we had last been and where I know our cloaks are.
Yep. So you walk over back to your cloaks. I assume. Oh yeah, the guy hands you back your belongings. He's like, "Well, that was unconventional. Usually we do things a little more stealthily, but it works."
We only have 1 day left.
You are correct. So I suppose I'll be seeing you at the meeting later.
You shall. I put the cloak back over myself,
Very well.
and then I.
It'll be a pleasure to see you. And he puts on his cloak as well. Then he returns
Why are
to
you shaking your head?
he returns to the secret passages and begins heading off in a different direction towards where you know the meeting will be taking place. It is in the sewers. This thing is connected to the sewers.
How many?
Meanwhile-
What time is it?
It is probably about 4 or 5 p.m. at this point.
What time's
actually
the
probably
sunset
closer.
in this world?
At this point, it's autumn, so yeah, it'll probably be setting around maybe 6 or 7 p.m. So you got maybe an hour or two left. Meanwhile, Ray and QZeth. I just mixed a character name and a real name. I'm disappointed in myself. So, you guys have escaped these rats and are running along a passage. At this point, the horrible squeaking echoes have kind of subsided, and you're far enough away where you're out of danger.
Yay.
Would you like to put down Mama Swizzle?
Yeah, I put down Mama Swizzle.
Mm-hmm. There's a slight
Uh,
squelch as your feet sink into
yeah.
the muck.
Mama Swizzle, she says disappointedly.
What? Were you upset with me carrying you? I'm sorry, I guess. I thought that it was pretty noble, but
Mama Swizzle
Alright.
shakes her head and then points at the muck at her feet.
oh. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit dirty, and you just learn to deal with it. You know,
Mama
like I
Swizzle.
don't have any shoes, so just I'm stepping what you stepping.
Mama Swizzle.
Exactly. Well, I clearly am not the best guy. Do you want to continue leading the way?
Mama Swizzle. I take the path next to the path we took.
Okay. You take a different path. Oh, wait, so are you going straight now, or are you going to the right?
Straight.
Previously you went left. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you begin walking, are you looking for any more clues of like where the correct way to go is, or are you just choosing random again?
Just choosing randomly at this
How
point.
would we know what the correct way to go is?
Just-
I mean, we're looking for light.
He only rolled an 8
We're
last time
looking-
he tried to figure it out, so just
Okay.
wondering if he's
Well,
attempting.
how about we'll say this? I will at this point, seeing that there were footprints,
Mhm.
continue to be on the lookout for footprints.
Okay.
So
Yeah, as you get back
I'll
to this intersection,
investigate.
yeah, good, roll an investigation, QZ, if you're attempting this as well.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, Mama Swizzle's not. Mama Swizzle just decided to start walking. So if you'd like
It
to,
didn't go too well, I have to
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
It did not go too well. I got a 4.
you're not really sure. You have no idea. I mean, there's footprints. It's kind of a mess.
Okay.
So
Well,
Mama Swizzle's
looking for
guess is
light.
as good as any, I guess.
mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So you guys begin making your way along this passage again, trying to figure out where the proper way to go. After maybe about 3 minutes, this is a long passageway, you do encounter what appears to be a cave-in of some kind. Like, it's just collapsed entirely, blocking off the way directly ahead. There are 2 ways to go, right or left, and they're about 10 feet back from the passage. Which way would you like to go? You
Mama
don't
Swizzle
hear
takes
anything
her.
from either way.
Mama Swizzle takes her scimitar, places it upside down on the ground, and lets it drop. Which direction does it go?
It falls to, you know what?
I'm
I'll
Thank you.
choose it randomly. It falls to the right.
All right, Mama Swizzle picks up her sword and goes to the right.
Okay. As you go to the right,
All of
you begin to finally hear some faint sounds of like. It almost sounds like sparks kind of zapping and some kind of magical effect, just echoing faintly from ahead. It's kind of covered up by the sounds of running water below your feet, but you hear something that doesn't sound normal for a sewer. What would you like to do?
I'd like to see if I can investigate that noise without being seen.
Okay. Well, you do have a torch on your group. If you'd like, you
Well,
can
you
put
know,
it
it
out
doesn't
to
even
reach
matter
stealthily.
because I'm just gonna use my 2 key points to use my other ability, which is pass undetected, pass without a trace.
Okay. And that increases your stealth by a +10, right?
I have no idea what it does.
I believe
I
that's what
can
the...
tell
looking
you
at it
I've
now.
done it as well.
Wait, you have that spell too?
Yeah, I do. A veil of shadow and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for a duration. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you,
Sorry.
have a +10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and cannot be tracked except by magical means. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
Okay.
So, in this case, do you want to use it, or am I going to? Because I already had the thought to, but if you were going to do it,
Yeah, I
so-
didn't have the thought to, so
Okay.
go ahead and do it.
So before you leave, I kind of like place my hand on your shoulder. I'm like, oh, my Swizzle, just wait 1 second. I learned this one in night school, because it's the shadow arts. And then I spend 2 key points.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mama
so
Swizzle, as he's putting
boom,
his hand on you, you feel like this weird kind of monk energy just like penetrating into your muscles, and a warm glow radiates across you, and he just kind of flaps his feathers a little bit, and suddenly whoosh, you feel, or like you see just some shadows kind of blend off of you into the area around you in a small radius, and you feel a lot stealthier than you once were.
What does the stealth? What
I
does
don't
stealth
know.
feel like?
You feel
I'm
like
feeling
you're...
rather stealthy today.
You notice that as you're moving,
I'm
you don't hear
sneaking
the
around
sound.
some
You don't hear the
places
sounds
where I'm
of your
not
clothing
supposed to.
rustling. You don't hear the sounds of your feathers. It's basically like everything is muffled, and you're just like
You are
in
in shadow.
You are a shadow, a soundproof creature of darkness.
Cool. And we just walk in there, kind of like peering in.
Okay, so you walk down the
Stealthily.
hallway. Even your torchlight,
Stealthily, but like
even your
Stealth.
torchlight seems to be like kind of masked by this like aura of shadows around it, making it harder to detect. So even though you're like walking in with a lit torch and you can actually see what's happening, somehow it's stealthy.
stealthy torch.
You come around this corner and you see that there are actually other light sources ahead of you. So if you want to, you can put out your torch. But what you see ahead of
I'm
you,
just gonna keep it up.
what you see ahead of you is an intersection where there are several other paths that come into it. So it's like kind of a circular place with about 8 different extending exit points, and they all come into this same entrance points. And then there's one other exit that goes ahead of you. So you're basically one of the 8 that are entering this room, and then they all go straight. There is one chamber off to the left and one chamber off to the right. You see another flash of blue
Hi.
and some sparks fly from the room on the left. What you see in the central... I'm going to wait for a second because he's talking.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were distracted.
My sister was just in here.
Gotcha.
She's trying to bug me.
In the center hallway, you see 2 guards that are not the city guards. These are like 8-foot tall dragonborns, black dragonborns in black armor all the way. They have a helmet that covers their face, and even their tails have some metal bands of armor across them. These 2 guards are standing there, each with a hand on their longsword, as they sit there keeping watch, and they are looking across towards the room that the sparks are coming out of. So basically, there are 2 ways to go, right or left, at the end of this little hallway. What would you like to do? It also extends forward to who knows where. Light is coming from both of the rooms.
I'm just following QZ at this point since he's the one with the spell and the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, did I didn't read the description. Is this like an aura around me, or is it I cast it and then like everybody inside of it gets the
A
stealth and that
veil of
makes it deliver
shadows radiates from you,
from me?
masking you and your companions.
For the duration, which is up to an hour, you and each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has a bonus to stealth. So technically,
Okay.
I guess
But like
if you get without or 30 feet apart
if
from
they
each
leave
other,
to 30 feet.
it would not work on him anymore.
Okay. So yeah, I will go into the left room. There's
Okay.
left and right, right?
Yeah.
Left room.
So
We
you
went
guys
right
creep
into here.
forward, just kind of watching out for these guards.
Doo-doo.
Could I have you guys roll me stealth?
I mean, yeah.
I can't hear you, Kat, if you're talking.
Nah, she was just doing the do-do-do-doos.
Okay.
24.
Why? I'm not.
Oh, and
my
plus
turn.
10. So
Yeah, I saw you. I thought you were talking. It sounded like you were saying, "What are they gonna do?" or something.
So it's 24 plus 10, so 34.
And I got 29.
Plus
Very
10.
nice.
I
They
did
crit
that.
failed. So these guys don't see anything. So
when I'm DMing and that happens, I'm just like, wait, never mind, just don't roll.
I would have, but you could have crit failed as well, so I had to keep the option open.
But we had the plus 10.
So as you guys are creeping forward, just kind of like, I will hope they don't notice us. You see one of these dragonborn immediately go, oh, just start scratching his tail like it's just the worst itch he's ever felt, and he's just like scratching it and not paying attention at all. And you just kind of slip past undetected into this room on the left. What you see is my phone going off. What you see is 6 hooded figures, like these same hooded figures that you guys have been following and keeping track of this whole time, that are all kind of sitting around and chanting around this circle on the ground. It is carved into the stone, like this is one giant slab of stone, not cobblestones. It is one giant carved circle with various runes on it, intricately carved and seeming to be with some magical purpose in mind. And as they're chanting, you see blue light begin to fill up the edges of the runes, then the circle itself, and then a giant flash of light, a plume of like blue flames shoots up into the air and then come back down, and there's a new cult member standing in the center of the circle. He walks off, sits down, and then the cult begins to chant again, and another flash of blue light, and another new person is standing there. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to try to blend in with the group and just stand there with the group.
This Mamas was leaving my stealth area.
The room is only about 30 feet, like from where you are at the intersection, or not the intersection, but where the left and the right, and then you can continue on. From where you are, it is about 30 feet to the far side of the room, so as long as Mama Swizzle doesn't go to like the very far corner, she'll still be in your range. So Mama Swizzle, you're going to go stand like as a part of the circle?
Yes.
Okay, roll me stealth once more.
Not 20.
Yep. You are a shadow. You kind of take your place in the circle, and no one really notices, no one pays any mind, but they're just kind of mumbling. Suddenly, another flash comes up, another flash. 2 more people arrive pretty close to each other, and these two notice that the circle is getting kind of full. Their eyes skate right over Mama Swizzle, and they begin walking towards QZ across the hall.
Okay.
What'd you guys like to do?
I'm just gonna move out of their way.
Okay.
Nothing too big, you know.
Just
kinda
scoot
like-
past. Roll me stealth once more. Or
Sure, I'll roll stealth.
You do have a cloak on, so I mean.
No, I'm not getting involved yet.
Mhm.
Not until I know what's happening in the circle.
Gotcha.
So 22 total.
Yep. So these guys, they're just chatting to each other. You hear in low voices, "Do you think this one will work? I don't know. It better work, or we're gonna have a really rough time." And as they pass you, and then they go into the room on the right. Would you like to take a look? where they're going?
I just kind of glance over at Mama Swizzle, and I'm like, and I'll try and like walk over to the room of the right and like try and peek in as best I can without leaving Mama Swizzle completely without my
I see.
stealth.
Yeah, you move
Yeah.
5 feet across the hallway to like stand right behind the Dragonborn and take a brief look over. The guy is still scratching at his tail, like, oh my gosh, this is a really bad day. A mosquito just like had a heyday on my butt. So you peek into this room and you see a large circular room, almost like an amphitheater with like differing levels that go down to a central point. In the center, you see a large black table carved from like obsidian, kind of like stone. You see a sliver of it that seems to be like chipped out or missing, and there is a large metal cylinder, like a capsule kind of thing, hovering above this table. There are plenty of other cult members in here, like 30 or 40, and they're all kind of walking around doing various things. And you also see 2 humans, or what you think are humans, at least humanoids, that are kneeling with bags over their heads, like burlap sacks above their heads.
Oh, for fuck's sake. God damn it.
I'm sorry. It's all Ananias' fault.
Damn it.
So basically what you're telling me is I was the smartest one who knew exactly what to do to solve this mystery,
Apparently.
and that anybody else who thought to do any other task was just wrong.
No, everything you guys have done is great.
No, everybody was like, my plan is dumb, but no, it
I
worked
didn't
out.
say that.
I didn't say that
You were
either.
thinking it. I know you would. Anyway, okay, so seeing them, I'm gonna try and look for another way out, other than like the twisting path that we took, which we probably don't even remember. I doubt any of us wrote it down.
Well, there is the pathway from the intersection. Okay, let me just draw it out. So this is the intersection with the 8 paths coming in, and then it goes this way. This is the path to the left, and this is the path to the right.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's mirrored, so just
It's
bear
whatever.
with me.
Whatever.
And then it also extends outward into the unknown. So technically, there are other ways out.
Okay.
There's also the
can
circle,
I
which seems
use-
to have some kind of teleportation magic associated
Yeah.
with it. So
So I've already used pass without trace, but could I pass it on further to them, or is it just like after I choose the people
I think the
that's
spell has
chosen?
already been cast.
Okay.
Well, I guess technically,
Yes,
because
it's people who I choose within the circle.
each creature you choose within 30 feet of you. Is there no limit on how many people you can do that to?
As long as they're in your
The
circle.
more question,
Yeah, it
the bigger
says-
question is when. Like if the second that it starts, I have to choose the people, and then like I can't.
I'm
I
gonna
think
say.
people can duck in and out of pass without
Yeah,
a trace.
I'm gonna say, because I was saying that if you get out of range of Ray, it would drop off of him. I'm gonna say that it's variable. Like people can drop in and out.
Okay.
So
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
theoretically, you can try to do a rescue mission here.
Alrighty. No. Sorry, the rat picture.
Oh no, are there more
alright,
rat pictures?
I just made that in
Yeah.
Illustrator.
Huh.
Mhm.
I'm scared.
Okay. So I'm gonna kind of like stealthily walk back over to Mama Swizzle and like kind of be like, Mama Swizzle, I found something. Mom, come here. Mama
I
Swizzle."
follow.
I found 2 people with a bag over their head. I think they might be sacrifices. We should probably get them out of here.
Mama Swizzle.
Okay. Stick with me. I'm gonna make them more invisible as well. I'm gonna
Mama Swizzle.
invisibilize them.
Could
like-
I have you
like-
roll
like I
stealth
did.
for this talking that you're doing? As well?
Both of us?
I mean, I'm imagining that we walked off to the side, but yeah, fair.
I mean, you walked over to Mama Swizzle, who was basically in the circle of
That's true.
several people.
I walked over to Mama Swizzle and I asked her to come
Oh, okay,
over
gotcha.
with me.
Yeah, so you could walk a few feet away. But...
Well, I've replied several times, so I have to roll stealth,
Yeah.
right?
I rolled
I was
stealth.
gonna say I only heard you respond once as a Mama Swizzle, so that was much less of a concern than him having like a 4-sentence conversation.
Okay.
Mhm.
But if you don't want my stealth, that's okay.
If you want to roll, that's fine. It's whatever.
I rolled already. Do
Okay.
you want my
Yeah,
stealth?
yeah. If you
Don't
rolled it,
say
then
it aloud.
let me
Don't
know.
say it aloud if it's bad.
Bad?
Let me know.
It's
Still
a
good at
that
plus-
one.
Okay.
I rolled a crit 20.
So QZ
They cancel each other out.
QZ is talking to Mama Swizzle and everything, and these cult members are Mama Swizzle. Did you just say Mama Swizzle? That wasn't part of our cult chant. Do we need to go back to the basics again? It's
So
okay.
they've heard.
But
So
everyone's
they've
going to
heard, but
judge
they
you for
don't
that
know
one.
who said it.
Yeah, they heard a Mama Swizzle echo from somewhere in the chamber, and they were just kind of confused because it was in the middle of their chanting. They don't know what happened.
It's
though.
it's like somebody sneezed
Yeah.
while chanting. Just-
Yeah, just someone farted. They're like, "Who did that?" But yeah, you're good. Keep talking.
Okay. So I walk with Mama Swizzle over to the people, kind of like the captive people,
Mhm.
and I want to try and walk behind them, and then
You
I
do
don't
see
want
that
them to,
there
like-
are a couple of these cult members that are like, not really guarding them, but at least that are standing right beside them. Like there are
Yeah, that's
people
okay.
kind of going around doing various things to prepare for this, whatever they're doing. So
it's a sacrifice. We all know.
yeah, there's just kind of like a couple of people keeping an eye on them so they don't try to get up and run, even though they can't see where they're going and they would immediately trip and fall.
Um. So now that we're kind of further aside, before we walked over to the other people, I'm gonna try and assess the situation and be like, Mama Swizzle, do you think that you can cause a distraction, or do you want to just try and sneak them out? I don't know what you think is best.
As soon as he says distraction, I cast fog cloud. And on top of that, I make a really bad stench using Druidcraft.
It was someone farting. Okay. Where are you centering this fog cloud?
Over the people we're trying to rescue.
That's gonna make it harder for us to find them.
So, QZ is like, alright, we need a distraction elsewhere so that we can get these guys out. You're like, they are the center of attention now! Alright. So suddenly, where are you guys standing when you do this, by the way? Are you, like, standing beside them?
In
or-
between the two is what I was imagining. In between the two rooms.
Okay. Technically, that's not quite within 30 feet of them at this point. What's the range on Fog Cloud?
I hadn't walked up to
30.
them yet. I hadn't
120
walked up
feet.
to them yet to give them the pass without trace.
Oh, the fog
This
cloud.
is me thinking before about it and being like, those people are pretty close. I don't want to mess with them. We need a distraction before I can cast it so that they won't even notice that they're gone.
I have a range of 120 with a radius of 20.
Okay. Are you still wanting to cast the Fog Cloud directly centered on them?
Yes.
Okay, and then where's
you
the
gotta
stink?
stick
Because
with
your
it.
stink is only 30 feet radius.
The stink is going to be near-ish the fog cloud.
You can get near-ish, but you can't, like, center those two. Okay, sure. So, these two Dragonborn guard people immediately... Oh, what is that? What is that? And they're like, they
What
kind
is
of grab
that
their
bad?
weapons and they're on like high alert now. The other cult members that are in that room, some of them take notice immediately. Others are kind of doing things and then they're like, "Oh, what's going on there?" And suddenly the prisoners are engulfed by this like 20-foot circular. Is it a 20-foot radius? Yeah, 20-foot radius. So it's actually 40 feet total sphere of fog, just surrounding these people who couldn't see anyway, so they do not react. what would you guys like to do? Suddenly, this place is abuzz.
Um,
People are kind of like, "Oh, what's going on?" And you hear,
So the
"What's going
second
on?"
that Mama Sizzle
There's fog.
sets off,
Yeah,
yeah,
but why
the
is there
second that
fog?
the second that Mama Swizzle sets off the fog, I'm just gonna be like, all right, and then I rush in, hoping that Mama Swizzle follows me, and I try and grab both of the prisoners and like say, listen, you're safe. I'm a monk of the goose. You just trust me. Come on, we're getting you out of here.
Okay. Mama Swizzle, what do you do?
I'm
As he's running
following
forward.
behind.
Okay, so you stay within the 30-foot radius as Cuseath just dives into this fog and can't see what he's doing, but he grabs these guys. Could I have... you know what? There's not even really a point to you rolling stealth, considering you're in a fog cloud and practically invisible at this point.
And
no
I-
need
I,
for the
so
stealth
first
on
off,
that.
I have +6 to my stealth
Yeah,
rolls.
you're good on the stealth
Secondly,
right now.
I have +10 to my stealth rolls. Thirdly, I have +fog to my stealth rolls.
Yes, there's no way they can see you. They might be able to hear you, but even so, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. So you can hear angry voices shouting around, and you don't know what's happening. But you successfully grab these two people. They kind of go like,
Oh, thank goodness your mouths are tied. Thank goodness. It's not gonna make any noise.
yeah. AJ would have had more character voices to try to do. So, are you trying to stand them up?
Yeah, I try and stand them up, and I also go ahead and pass on my pass
Yeah.
without trace.
You lay your hands on them, and they begin to like glow with the same kind of shadowy.
They pass
Effect.
without a trace.
Yes, they pass without traces. You can see that
Sorry.
their hands are tied behind their backs, as well as their feet are tied together. So as you try to get
Okay.
them to stand up, they kind of shuffle along. They're having a bit of trouble there.
Okay. Well, I don't have any knives or anything, and probably Mom Swizzle doesn't either.
This could have gone many ways. This is not the one I expected.
This could have gone many ways.
It's always the way you don't
No.
expect.
So now
Yeah.
I'm debating on either trying to untie the ropes or just carry both of them.
Oh dear.
And I don't know which would be easier or quicker.
I cannot make this decision
Uh,
for you.
I will say I do have to hop off in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, my
We're-
dinner's ready, so I was thinking like after mine, I was gonna have to go.
Okay. Yeah. We'll end it after this segment. I assume this will end very quickly at a good cliffhanger.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm just gonna. So I'm gonna fireman carry one, and then, I'm gonna try and hold in my arms the other one.
Okay. Could you
So
roll me
one
strength?
flipped over onto the shoulder. The other, I haven't been doing good with strength rolls today. But it's okay
No, you
this
haven't.
time. It is a 15 plus 4, so that is 19 total.
Did you roll a strength save?
Did I click save?
I
I did
think you
click
did.
save. I did click save. Strength.
I don't know why it popped up on my
Click it.
thing. I've never seen that before.
It always because I'm.
That's okay. We can go with the other number, but just subtract 2. Because
Okay.
you put it as a save instead of a other
Yeah.
thing.
Sure.
So
Okay.
what was your total?
17 then.
17. Okay. Yeah, you managed to grab them both, fireman carrying one and doing what with the other?
Just holding them.
Just
In my
holding them
arm.
in your arms?
Like so like this. I'm doing one of these. So I
right.
grab one,
So
fling them over,
looking like
take
the
the other
classic
one, scoop
guy
them
that
up.
wants to bring in all the groceries in one trip. You grab the man over your shoulder and the woman under your arm, and you try to begin moving. You're much slower than you normally would be as you're trying to keep both of these people aloft.
I would
and
normally have a 35 speed. Do you want to change that to like 15?
We'll say it's
we'll
half,
say?
yeah. So
Okay.
17 and a half
Yeah,
movement
17.
speed. As you exit the radius of the fog cloud, you see that the Dragonborn guards have their swords kind of like interlaced across the entrance, and they're kind of like looking both directions to see if someone is invading or trying to exfiltrate. They're not sure what's happening. Could I have you roll me stealth now that you're out of
Yeah.
the fog cloud?
Both of us?
If you're following Mama Swizzle.
Yep.
Ah!
What'd you get?
What?
A 1.
You got a nat 1?
I rolled a 1. I got a net 1. Plus 6 though, so 7.
Okay. So, as you
Plus
exit,
10, so 17.
as you exit the cloud, you see, or the Dragonborn guards seem to like squint.
Wait, is the shadow still up?
The pass
Is
without
the
trace?
pass without a trace?
Yeah,
Yes,
pass without trace.
he
is still
added
up,
that.
yeah.
That's a plus 10.
Yes.
Yeah, no, so it would be 17 total. However, it's still a net 1.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They do seem to react to seeing you, like, probably what they see is just there is a cave where the fog isn't there for a moment, that kind of like flubs outward as though someone just like pushed their face into a pillow and then it expanded back outward. It's like that kind of thing. They see an empty void of the fog turn and exit the thing. And they're like, "What? Oh, you have maybe been spotted. You're not sure."
I just keep moving.
Okay.
Just gotta get them out of there.
All
I
right.
rolled a 23. That's including the plus 10.
All right. And on this note, I think we should probably hold it off for here because people need to go, and combat would not be a very good point to hold it off. So with that, we'll talk to you all next week.
Sounds good.
And
Sounds
I'm not
good.
sure if Ananias and Light are gonna wind up joining this, or if they're gonna be continuing to do.
Well,
their other
Ananias
things.
is just gonna show up at dawn. Just
At
like,
dawn!
Just like, we're...
Oh no! Oh, I
We'll
can't
see
wait
what
for the party to
happens.
get all back together. You're muted, by the way.
Kat.
All right, later.
All right, see ya. I can't wait for. I hope you do finish the mystery. Oh, she's gone. Oh well.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Because
Because, I mean, we found them now, so we've rescued the people, but that isn't solving the crime.
yes. I was hoping that
Like,
she
we're
was
gonna-
aware of that, because like it doesn't necessarily ruin the fun just because you know where the bat or where the people.
Yeah,
are.
I'm sure that Light's aware. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna head
Yeah,
out.
That was fun.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, thank y'all. See you,
Bye
Kat. You're still muted.
bye. You're still muted, Kit Kat.
Bye. Yes, very good session, EJ. I really
Yay.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
You too.